Welcome to Paro, a beautiful valley where the airport rests quietly in the lap of mountains. Paro is calm in a way that instantly makes you slow down. Surrounded by tall peaks, fresh air, and peaceful waves, it feels like a place where nature, culture, and modern life exist together in a perfect harmony. During our drive from Thimpu to Paro, we came across a lovely stretch of land filled with peach trees in bloom, horses and mules roaming freely, and Bhutanese locals dancing together. It was such a happy, unexpected moment that we had to stop. We asked our driver, Mr. Wangchuk, if we could pause for a while, and he happily agreed. We spent some time there taking pictures, enjoying the view, and simply soaking in the moment. Our next stop was by the riverbank. The sound of flowing water, the cool breeze, and the mountains around us made it feel almost magical. We sat there silently for a few minutes, meditating and enjoying the peace. We reached Paro around 11:30 am, and our first stop was a traditional attire rental and souvenir shop. We couldn't resist trying one Bhutanese clothing. The fabric felt soft, warm, and comfortable. Wearing it made us appreciate even more how beautifully the locals carry their culture every day. We had a fun little photo session, and the rental cost was 300 per person. After lunch, we visited the Ta Zong Museum. Located inside on an old watchtower, it was quite windy outside, but inside it felt like stepping into Bhutan's history. Ancient weapons, traditional clothing, vessels, paintings, and stories of Buddha filled the museum with meaning. The view from the top was stunning, peaceful, wide, and unforgettable. The next, we visited Rinpung Dzong Fort. Entry was free, and one important rule stood out: no head covering in front of Bhutanese flag, as a sign of respect. The fort was beautiful, calm, and majestic. The architecture, the breeze, and the silence made the whole place feel special. In some ways, it reminded us of Thiksay Monastery in Ladakh, but with its own Bhutanese charm. Only certain areas are open to visitors as the royal family still visits. We explored the accessible temples and sat there quietly for few minutes before leaving. Later, we walked down from the fort towards Paro town, and this walk turned out to be one of the most scenic parts of the day. The path was beautifully made of stones, winding gently down the hill. On both sides, dried pine trees stood quietly, adding a rustic charm to the entire track. With every step, it felt less like we were simply walking back to town and more like we were walking through a memory lane. The cool breeze, the sound of footsteps on the stone path, and the peaceful surroundings made the moment feel more cinematic. As the path slowly led us toward the bridge connected to the main road, evening had begun to settle over Paro. And just when we thought the scene couldn't get more beautiful, we saw a herd of mules heading back home. A simple but lovely sight that made the walk even more memorable. Our final morning, my wife and I walked through the village roads with no plan, just observing life around us. Cattle grazing in the fields, people carrying sacks on their backs, children walking to school in traditional inspired uniforms. Everything felt simple, peaceful, and beautiful. There was little sadness knowing it was our last day, but also a deep sense of gratitude. One of the most fascinating sights here is Paro Airport, known as one of the most challenging airports in the world for takeoff and landing. Watching flights move between the mountains was truly breathtaking. From the nearby viewpoint, every landing and takeoff looked smooth, graceful, and almost cinematic. The airport itself is built in a traditional Bhutanese architectural style and powered by solar energy, a beautiful example of how modernization can blend with heritage without disturbing the nature. Bhutan is not just a place you visit, it's a place that stays with you. Beautiful land, beautiful people, and memories we will carry in our hearts forever. Thank you.